If anyone having, please let me know.
Hi sir, hello.
Yes, Sunil, tell me.
So what you actually I didn't understand what you can explain. Please can you explain one more time?
Yeah. So yesterday I given the servlets how you can develop applications and all, right. So today
Mm,
I will start the examples, right. While examples I will explain one more time. No problem.
mm, okay.
Yeah. Same theory points will cover in the practical also. No problem. Guys, can anyone respond?
Yes, sir.
Uh, Let me share my screen. Once you are able to see my screen, please let me know. Yeah, able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So yesterday we discussed how we can develop servlet application, how many ways to develop uh, write the servlet classes, right? So those things and what are the steps we have to do. Those things and all we discussed in the theory. So now we completely focusing on the implementation. While implementing, we can going forward. What are the topics we are do covering everything. I will show you. So initially, first 3 4 examples I will show you. I will write the examples. After that, I already have some all examples I have backup. Okay, these things and all. So going forward, I will explain this. But initially, you need to familiar with those things, right? That's what I'm writing from scratch level. Okay. So previously, when compared to JDBC, right? How we can create the project? That is not any web application. Directly standalone application. We are writing simple Java classes, right? That's what we created Java new Java project. Okay, but in this case, web application by using servlets, we are creating the this one web applications. So simply it's a small difference is there. Select new other. Okay, so type dynamic. See here you are seeing dynamic web project, right? So simply just click on this dynamic web project. Okay, so give uh, let's say servlet application. Okay, otherwise servlet app. Okay, now next, and moreover here see this is web application, right? Must and should you have to deploy in your server. So what server you are using? We are using Tomcat 9, right? So here simply currently we don't have any server. We need to configure the server. Click on new runtime. See, click on Apache folder. Okay, and what version we are using? 9. Select 9 version and new. See here, this is the name and this is installation directory. Go to browse C drive, program files, Apache Software Foundation 9. Okay, select folder and finish. Okay, see by default you are see it will the model version automatically change. Okay, no need to do anything. Select next again. I'm explaining again. So first right click on file, new, dynamic other, select file, next new, next select other. In the other, just type dynamic web project. You are able to see this window. In this window, we have to use, you have to give project name. This is first app, right? I'm using servlet interface. That's what I'm giving, servlet app. After that, we have to configure Tomcat server. Just to select Tomcat 9. Okay, new runtime, select Apache. Apache, under Apache we have a Tomcat 9. Select and give the software installation location. Then automatically this data will populate. Next, click on next button. See, this is the project structure. Okay, and select next. See here again, This is by default is populating. You can select deployment descriptor. This is the deployment descriptor web.xml. Just select generate. If you are not selecting this one, you have to manually create this XML file. Okay, just select and finish. Just select no. I don't want separate. Just see here. See here. This is your project structure. Previously I explained. So this is your main source folder, classes, everything you can write here. Okay. So go to src folder, main web app folder. Yesterday I explained in a web app folder you have web.inf folder, meta.inf folder. In web.inf folder you have a web.xml and lib folder. If you want to add any jar files, you need to mention here in this location, lib folder. So web.xml containing, yesterday I explained web.xml containing servlet information and servlet mapping information. So going forward, we can add some more features also. I will going forward, I explain what your welcome file. See, this is your web.xml structure. Okay, initially this welcome file is not required. We are not using anything. See, this is your application name, display name, right? So here you need to mention servlet servlet. First servlet tag, next servlet mapping tag. Okay, this information we have to provide. What information we have to provide in the servlet tag? You need to mention servlet first name, servlet name. Okay, next servlet class. Yesterday I explained everything. See, in the servlet mapping, first we have to mention. See, no need to do anything. So no need to type. Remove this line. Less than servlet. See, servlet name. No need to do. Select this one. Servlet name you need to give. Next, URL pattern, right? URL pattern. Just select. So currently you do. I will explain after few minutes. Just I'm putting comment. What is the how to do the comment? Just select Control Shift forward slash. Okay. So now so these are a lib folder. You need to mention your jar files. Okay. And in the web.xml file you have to mention your servlet application. Okay, and now we can implement by using servlet. How you can override, how you can implement simple servlet application. Let's say I'm creating simple package com.practice. No, I will change this typically. Yeah, servlet IMPL. Okay, you can give any name, but it should be a small case sensitive. Okay, small letters only. Package names should be small only. Okay, and click write class. So just I'm giving my servlet class name here. No need to do anything here. Interface you can add servlet interface. Okay, add. Okay, finish. See here, yesterday I explained. So here service method, init method, get servlet info, get servlet config, and a destroy method. Okay, so going forward, so what is the purpose of servlet config, servlet context, the servlet config? What is the purpose? Going forward, we can see as of now we cannot do. I am not writing anything, just I am implementing in the service. Okay, in the service class, just I am request response. So now finally I'm preparing some response dot set content type text slash html. I already told you by default servlet content type should be text slash html. Okay, now print writer and out equal to response response dot get writer. What is the purpose of this one? I will explain. Out dot println. Okay, just I'm printing some html content. Okay, h1 center. Okay, see here response. Already I created response object by default service method taking the response. From the response I'm putting set content type should be text or html. And print writer, what is the print writer, right? Just this method, this class, see, prints formatted representations of object to text output stream. This class implements all the print methods found in the print stream, and it this they whatever you are putting, right? See how you will get, how we can get the print writer object response that get writer. So you are creating the print writer object. In the print writer object, you are putting print.ln system.out.println. What is the purpose? You are in the console, it will display some messages. So in the same way, to display the some content in the browser, in the web application, by using servlets, we have to use print writer instead of system.out.println. Okay, why? Because system.out.println console it will display, but in the web application it won't display anything, right? It will display in the browser only. So that's what we are using print writer. I'm getting out object. From the out we are putting println and printing some html content. Okay, this your servlet class is ready. Now what is the next step? We have to register this servlet to in the web.xml. So in the servlet application, servlet, when you, if you want to run this class, right, you need to do some configuration, right? So in the web.xml, we have to mention the corresponding servlet information. What is the class? What is the name? Just say my servlet. Okay, and not this one. Yeah, my servlet. What is the class name? Com dot servlet dot impl dot my servlet. Okay, see, this is correct. That's what you are getting. This showing some link. For example, I am giving yes. See, this is not correct. That's what you are not getting the link. Link. Just I am reviewing. Now it's, see, this is the link. Can you click on this one? The corresponding class it's opening. That's why you need to make sure the corresponding package is correct or not. Fully qualified name. Fully qualified name, nothing but this is the package name dot class name. Okay. Now this is servlet tag. Next, servlet mapping. What is the servlet name? My servlet. Okay. And URL pattern, simply I am giving my servlet. Just I am giving my servlet. Okay. This is the URL. So now your what are the requirement? First you have to create your application. After application you have to create one servlet class. The servlet class containing implements servlet interface. So this is interface, right? So servlet is containing these methods, so that's why you are overriding these methods. And next, so in service method, yesterday I explained, in the servlet application, so your business logic should be right in the service method. Okay, when you run this application, when you hit your URL, the corresponding execute, it will read the web.xml file. This is the first step. When you run the application, right? After that, if you hitting your URL, the execution will servlet will read this XML file. So it will read first servlet tag, what is the class and what is the URL pattern. So finally it will go to the corresponding servlet class and it will execute all those methods. Currently we are not writing any these things. Currently it will go to, while servicing executing method, service method, it will execute this logic. Finally it will print in the browser this content. Let's see, I'm running this application, run as server. No need to do anything. Directly right click this project. Right click this project, run on server. Okay, now you are able to see Apache. Why it's coming? Somewhere, yeah, correct. Oh, sorry. Why it's like this, right? First of all, go to window, show view, others. We have to mention servers. Select this server, open. Right? Currently, Eclipse don't have any server. When you open this server tab, click on the no servers are available. Click this link to create new server. Click on this link. You are able to get this link, right? So click Apache C9 version, right? Click on this one, next, and select this new and add, finish. Okay, now see, application is mentioned in the server, but application server is not started. Just okay, see here what is the issue here. The server cannot be started because no more, one or more ports are invalid. Open the server editor and correct the invalid ports. Close this window and double click this one. Double click this one. Tomcat 9.78 localhost. Double click on this one. You are able to see here ports. Okay. Here by default port number 8080. Already somewhere in my mission already 8080 port number it's running. So I am giving 7878, and here Tomcat admin port by default it's not there. Just give your any random number. Okay, there is no any rule we need to give these two port numbers. There is no any rule, particular number only we need to give. We can use your any number. Okay, but it should be a 4 digits. Just control S and again just start the server. See here, application number is running, port number. This is the HTTP port number 7878. Application is running. Okay, now again I'm closing this one. I'm removing this one. Okay, now again right click, run as server, select Tomcat, next, already selected. If not selected, if it is there, just select. One second. Yeah, see, finish. See, application automatically loading. See what is the, how you can access your application. Let's see here. Go to web.xml. What is your URL pattern? My servlet. We have to give this one. Control C. Go to, better you can open this one in the, use Chrome browser. It's very convenient. Oh my god. Yeah. Now give slash my servlet. Hit URL. See my servlet application. You are not doing anything. Just simply I'm created one class. Okay. See, go to console. You are not seeing any system.out.println. Why? Because you are not mentioned any URLs. Sorry, any log statements. See here, init method, you are not doing anything. In the destroy method, servlet info and servlet config, you are not doing anything, right? Simply you created my servlet, it's implemented servlet interface, and once you can implement servlet interface, it will ask over it. Otherwise, let's say Control X. See here, you are implement just I'm showing how to manually do. Okay, see, this is interface, right? So interface you are implemented, it is asking add unimplemented methods. See here, same methods, nothing change, same methods. Just I am reviewing and control V. So same methods, but in the service method, I have added my logic. So in the method, what I'm service method, what method is returning? My servlet application. It is this content, it will display in the browser. See, so what is the flow it will execute when you run this, when you hit this URL, right? First of all, servlet, it will read this XML file. Okay, the corresponding servlet file, web.xml file, it will read, and it will go, what is the servlet class, it will find. So if you are not giving this one, right, it won't read the it won't go to the servlet file. It is expecting fully qualified name. What is the fully qualified name? The corresponding package name and the corresponding class name. Okay, so it will go to the corresponding servlet, and it will display this, it will execute this service method, and it will execute this content. So that's why you are getting this application, my servlet application. Okay, so how you can write, how you can using servlet interface, how you can write simple servlet application. This is the structure. Any doubts? You people are not asking any questions. I'm understanding. I don't know, you are already aware of these things, or you are not understanding anything. Yeah, yeah, sure. See here, once you can start, once your application, sorry. So how to add the server, right? So very first time, after create your application, right? After create application, before deploying our server application into server, go to window, show view. Okay, here it's not showing. Why? Because you are not open single time also. Just select other, it will type servers. Okay, see here, it will show the servers open. So this is my window. Okay, see here, let's assume, see here, existing server I deleted. Now I'm very first time you are able to see like this, no servers available. Click this link to create new server. Click on this link. Okay, here the window should be very like clumsy. Just select Apache. You are able to click on up arrow, down arrow. You are able, oh sorry, Apache. Just click on this drop down. See here, you are able to see, this server's version is displaying. So drop down 9 version you can select. Once you can select, automatically you are able to get your runtime in your, it automatically it will take your location, right? Why? Because previously you already mentioned your server information. Now select next. This is my application. Just add and finish. Finally, your application is mentioned in the server, but you are not you are not started your server. Just select this one. So very first time you are able to see some port issue. Just double click this one. Here, just select, draw, click on this menu button. Here you can give your random port number. Okay, here you can give anything. Okay, but here port number should be, if you in your mission nothing, port number 8080 not using this, you can use 8080. In my mission some of the server is using 8080, that's what I'm giving 7878 and control S, save, right? So next, click on this one and run button. If you are facing any issues, it will show here itself. Okay, in the console itself it will show it is a server is started or not. See here, you are seeing started protocol handler HTTP 7878. Once application is server is running, then only you are able to see this port, this message. This is the confirmation our service is run, my server is running. Okay, these loggers don't ignore these things. Finally you can understand, this is your final message you are expecting. See, server startup. Okay, your server is running. Now how you can deploy, how you can run the service, your URL. So very first time for URL, you don't have URL, right? So you don't know how, what is what URL you can use. Just assume now, direct, first time you cannot add directly like this. Now right click, project, run as server, select this Tomcat, next, finish. Now you are able to get automatically application URL, it will open. So this servlet app we are not mentioned anywhere. By default, the Tomcat server, it will take this context path as a root path. Okay, now you need to give only your URL. What is your URL? Sorry, what is your URL? So go to your web.xml and take this my servlet. Control C, go to here. I'm not using this in this one. Just control V, enter. See, you are getting your response. Now I'm little bit changing here. So let's say, I will show you flow of execution. Okay, this get servlet config and servlet info going forward I will explain. Okay, currently let's say I think redeploy is necessary as per my understanding. Yeah, see here, see here, my changes already taken. See here first, um, 1 second for better understanding. Sys out. Okay, so now, yeah, again I am hitting. See here, I am hitting again URL. See here, init method executed. After inside service method will execute. So when it will be destroy method will execute. Let's assume application is execute. Server is running. I stopped the server. Sorry. Just a second. 1 second. I will show you again. Yeah. See here. I'm running this application again. Go to application console. See, currently there is no any loggers. Okay, just I'm running this URL. So see here, you are getting the your information in the browser and inside execute statement init method and execute inside method service method. When then I'm
ఉండమ్మాయి అది రైతులే దాంట్లో
just I'm
పావుగంటలు అయిపోద్దిగా
see now I'm just stop the server. Okay, see destroy method called. When it will call destroy method, when you stop the server, it will destroy method will call. When it will init and the service method execute, when you invoke your URL in the browser, then automatically first init method will execute. After that inside service method will execute. After that, when it will call destroy method, if you stop your server, then automatically destroy method will execute. Okay, so now I will explain servlet flow execution. Okay, servlet flow. So let's say any doubts, guys? Before I'm jump into the servlet flow of execution, you guys have any doubts? Okay, so when you run this URL, when you run this URL, how it should be servlet flow will execute, right? What is the flow of servlet? So when you start the server, the main job of container, right? It will recognize and each and every web application and prepare. See here when you start the server, right? When you deploy your application in the server, when you hit the URL, the corresponding server, when you deploy your application, right? Servlet application into the server. So for each application, one second. Yeah, so when you deploy your application into the server, right? So every web application and it will create the servlet context object to each and every web application. So when you deploy your application in the server, for each web application, it will create one servlet context object. Okay, servlet context object is for every web application it will create. Okay, so next, while doing your deploying web application, it will recognize, right? It will, once the application it will deploy in server, it will read the web.xml file. Okay, under web.inf folder. Web.xml, where it will be available under web.inf folder. Like, what is the purpose of web.xml file? It will to perform servlet initialization, loading, and parsing, and everything by using web.xml only. Okay, so that is use of web.xml. So next, while reading the content, right? For example, in the web.xml content, it will read the corresponding all the tags like servlet and servlet mapping, right? The container, it will identify the context data in web.xml file. These are all the context data, right? So what are the servlet context? So servlet context object is created in the time of application deployment into the server. Servlet context object is created for each and every web application, not servlet, each and every web application. See, this is one web application. Okay, so web application is nothing but if you run any, you are hitting any service, any URL from the browser, that application is running in the server, that is nothing but a web application. So servlet context object, it will create at the time of application deployment into the server. Servlet context object, it will create each and every web application. Okay, so once you are deploying into the server, right? After deploying the server, this application, so the corresponding server, it will create the virtual socket connection between client and server. What is the client here? Client should be browser. This is the browser. Browser is nothing but client. What is the server? Server is nothing but where you are deploying the application, right? This is my server. In this server, my application is running, right? So this server and this corresponding browser, what is the purpose of corresponding container, right? Servlet container, it will create the connection between server and client connection, it will establish. That is one of the main role of how it will create the connection and all IP address and everything, it will maintaining by the servlet container. Okay, so next one, what is the next step of container? The corresponding, once your connection between a server and client, right? Once you can hit the URL. So what is the URL here? This is the URL. See, this is the URL. When you hit this URL, directly it will go to web.xml file and it will read this content. Servlet tag, what are the tags available in this web.xml? It will read the each and every tag. What is the preference? First it will read the servlet tag. What is the servlet tag? Contains servlet name and servlet class. It will go to the corresponding class and it will execute. Again, servlet mapping is nothing but my servlet. How we can hit the URL? How it will find? When you hit this URL, right? The corresponding URL should be matched with this URL pattern. Then only it will execute. Let's say, for example, for our confirmation, I'm running this application. Okay. So application is running. Let's go console. I'm hitting. Go to URL servlet 1. Enter. See 404. The corresponding URL is not matching with this one. See, that's what you are not getting proper response. You are getting 404. The corresponding URL is not available. Let's remove one and enter. See, my servlet application is the corresponding web application is containing proper URL pattern and it will execute this class and it will return to the browser. Any doubts up to here?
Sir,
Yes, tell me.
sir, how it will be like application? Like my servlet is okay, but application how it came, I don't know.
See, so why means, so currently, let's say here you are not, you are deployed your application in the server, right? Here,
Yeah.
let's say, so when you right click and run a server, right? Automatically the application will deployed into server. So the corresponding servlet container, it will automatically pick this display name. Either application name should be same or the display name also same. It will take this name and it will attach it into the URL, this URL.
Like my question is like it is the only app it is there, no? Like it should come only app if you write.
Where it is app? Where it is app?
Here servlet app is there, right?
Yeah, servlet app only came, right? This is the servlet app.
Okay.
This one is not open, right? Who is talking?
Chetan, sir.
Yeah. So let's say, okay, I will show you the difference. So you are telling already my servlet is there. That's what your doubt, right? How it
Yeah.
should be my servlet is identifying.
Yeah.
No, it won't take when you, okay, I will explain. See here, I stopped my server. Okay. I'm reviewing the application from my server. Okay. Again, from starting, right click on the project, run as on server. Select your Tomcat server. Next, finish. Application is running. See, automatically, see here. Automatically browser is opening, right?
Yeah.
And it don't have any URL. In the URL, you don't have a URL pattern, right? So what is your URL pattern? My servlet. As a developer, you need to give this URL. Up to context path, it will open. It will not, it will don't know this URL until unless you are hitting the URL. Okay. Now I am giving this my servlet and enter. In this case, what will happen, right? The corresponding servlet container, it will read this XML file and it will check the corresponding my servlet URL pattern is matching or not. If it is matching, then only it will go to the servlet. It will read the corresponding servlet class.
Okay, sir.
Okay. If you are giving wrong, you are getting immediately not found. Why? Because this is not matching with this URL. That's why servlet container automatically it will throw the 404 error.
Okay.
See here, this C message, my request resource servlet app / my servlet 1 is not available. Okay, remove this one and hit you are able to get the response.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once you are practicing these exams, you were able to get the better understanding. Okay. So now we will just let's go to next thing. So what is the first step when you run this application, right? First step is servlet loading. How it will load? When you hit the when you deploy your application into the server, automatically servlet container, it will respect to servlet class, it will load to the bytecode to the memory, right? So automatically when you deploy your service, your application, the corresponding my servlet dot class file will generate in the container. Okay. So after that, that is nothing but servlet loading. What is the next step? Servlet instantiation. So we have a init method, right? Init method, it will do servlet initialization. Nothing but it will create the servlet object. Okay. Init method, it will recreate the servlet object. Okay. So what is the next step? Servlet initialization. What is the servlet initialization? Init method, it will take the servlet config object. What is the servlet config? So here one important question: what is the difference between servlet config and servlet context? So servlet context is the object. Servlet context is available for each application. Okay, but servlet config is the object, it will available each servlet. That is the difference. Okay, so going forward I will show you in better servlet config and servlet context differences, but as of now we can understand what is the difference. Servlet context object is available for each and every web application. Servlet config object is available for each servlet. Okay, so that is the difference. After that, creating the request and response, right? So request and response, it will by using service method. Service method, it will take the inputs, request and servlet response. Okay, so by using service method only, you are generating the dynamic response or whatever static response by using service method only. Okay, so now next step, what is destroy method? Servlet deinstantiation. When you stop the server, automatically servlet object will destroy, and it destroy method, it will execute. Destroy is nothing but servlet object, it will destroy in the destroy method. That is nothing but destroy method. Okay, so this is the how to create the servlet application by using servlet interface. Now next one, so next, what some drawbacks available in this servlet interface, right? What is those drawbacks I will explain now. So when you use servlet interface, for example, I am creating servlet implement servlet interface, right? So if you use this approach, each and every method you need to declare in your class, right? So for example, if you implement servlet interface, you have to override all those methods. Okay, so but sometimes I don't want these methods, right? But still you need to implement these methods. That is the one of the drawback, right? So the above approach you need to increase the burden to developers. See here, these things are all not required. The servlet info method and servlet config method, these are all not required. But if you use servlet interface, you have to must and should override these methods. So in this case, it's not a user friendly, right? As a developer, it's increasing the unnecessary methods to override in your application. This is extra burden to the JVM. or a web application. To overcome these problems, coming the corresponding, they are introduced generic servlet. See, generic servlet. So sorry. This is class, right? We need to use extents. See, generic, where is servlet? See, generic servlet. So now this time you don't have to override any required methods. Okay, so now let's assume I'm removing these classes. Control X. See, unimplement methods. See, this time it is expecting only service method. Rest of the methods not required. Control Z. I'm creating again one more application class. So other dynamic project. Next. So I already selected generic servlet app. Okay, now automatically this server is taking next and the next, generate web.xml file and finish. No, I'm stopping the server. I'm reviewing this servlet information, servlet application not required. Now I'm created generic servlet. So same, I didn't do anything. Just in the web.xml file, just I'm copy paste this two tags. Okay, web.xml. Okay, web.xml. I'm removing. Control V. See here, same class I'm taking. Let's assume I'm so here servlet tag I taken and servlet mapping I taken. Now I'm changing my generic servlet, and this should be just I'm giving gen. Okay, this is my web.xml. Next, what is the next step? You need to create one package. Servlet-impl. So class name should be already you mentioned, right? So you can use same one. Control V, finish. Okay, now I'm extends generic servlet. See, now it's showing unimplemented methods. See, here now you are able to override only one method. What is the method? Service method. When you go to its servlet interface, it's asking all the methods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 methods is asking. But in the generic servlet, it's asking only one method. That is nothing but service method. Okay, so that is the main difference. Request, response. Okay, see, now I am giving generic servlet application. Let's see here. I didn't change anything here, just I implemented classes I changed. Instead of servlet interface, I'm taking generic servlet, and it's a, once you can extending generic servlet, it will asking only service method overriding. I have changed and I have changed my content. And web.xml, I have mentioned my class name and my URL. Now let's see, just right click, go to run as, run on server, Tomcat selection, next, finish. See here, I didn't change anything. Generic servlet app automatically taken. Now what is my URL? Gen. Enter. My generic servlet application. So that is the main difference between generic servlet and servlet interface. There is no nothing. So sir, maybe some people will get the sir in this servlet. Sir, what is the main so in the servlet interface you are overriding all those methods. So in the generic servlet you are not over remaining methods how it should be. So everything is handling by this class. Those logic is handling this class. Okay. As a servlet, this is the interface. That's what you are overriding. You know, right? What is the purpose of interface? Interface is fully abstraction. It having interface containing only method specific requirement specification. It don't have any implementation. In the implementations we provide in the child classes. So let's say this is the child class for this interface. So in the interface, what methods you want to write your logic, you can use those methods. So for example, I'm writing my service method. I'm providing my changes requirement business logic in my service. So I am not using get servlet information and get servlet config. But still, servlet is asking no. If you don't want to do anything, still you have to override these methods. That is extra burden, right? JVM it will run again these methods also. So they will come. This need to overcome by using generic servlet. Generic servlet is the superclass of our servlet. You need to extend and you can use. So the remaining whatever destroy method, servlet, init method, everything is handling by the generic servlet. No need to override those methods. As a generic servlet usage, you have to override only one service method and you can provide your business logic. Now see, I'm run my the corresponding application is deployed in the server and I'm hitting my here here gen. This is my URL pattern. Just I'm giving an enter. See, you are able to get the response from the second application. This is the main difference between servlet and generic servlet. So now what is the third approach? You know, right? We have a third approach also. So what is the predefined implementation of generic servlet, right? Generic servlet is a internally generic servlet using adapter design pattern. In the Java we have a different types of design patterns: factory design pattern, singleton design pattern, and adapter design pattern. This lot of design patterns is available. So generic servlet, they are internally using adapter design pattern. So generic servlet predefined abstract class as a implementing serializable interface. Okay, this class is already implementing serializable interface. Can you go to this class? See here, generic servlet implements servlet interface. Servlet interface is nothing but already this class having all the methods. So and it is implementing serializable interface also. Okay, now just 5 minutes guys, I will close the class. I will cover rest of the example. Okay, now the corresponding, what is the difference between this thing? So what is the third approach? HTTP servlet, right? So what is the why sir, already servlet is interface is available. We have overcome these problems, so we have come up with generic servlet. So again, generic servlet is available. Why you are come up with HTTP servlet? So that is the next question. So what is the main difference between HTTP servlet and generic servlet? Generic servlet is a protocol independent and HTTP protocol is dependent. So for example, in the HTTP protocol, in generic servlet, we have a service method. So you can hit the URL and directly it will go to the corresponding method execution. But in the HTTP servlet, we have some HTTP methods like get, post, put, and these methods are HTTP methods. This is nothing but HTTP protocol dependent. So in case of generic servlet, container will execute only service method. Only execute it will service method for any type of protocol request provided by the client, right? For example, in the get or post methods, right? Each and every request, it will by default service method will execute. But in the HTTP servlet, in the HTTP servlet, we have a two different methods. One is do get and do post. I will explain going forward better explanation. So, but I'm explaining what is the difference between generic servlet and HTTP servlet. In generic servlet containing only one service method, but HTTP servlet containing do get and do post methods. Okay, so do get method for the get request we are using. Do post method we can use HTTP servlet post methods. Okay, post URLs. Generic servlet is not very compatible, not compatible with protocols, but HTTP servlet is very good compatibility with protocols. Okay, generic servlet will not implement any specific protocol at server side. So everything is servlet, generic servlet we are using service method, right? It is not possible to change it. So HTTP servlet has implemented HTTP protocol by the server side also by using do get and do post methods. Okay, so now how it should be internally. HTTP servlet is the abstract class. It is extending generic servlet. Let's say I'm giving example. This one I will close the class. Okay, so dynamic, bear with me next 5 minutes. Okay, dynamic web project. Okay, now HTTP servlet app. Okay, now next web.xml creation, finish. See here, so HTTP servlet I created. Finally, I will change my web.xml. I need to mention my servlet details, right? So I'm open my web.xml file. What happened? Yeah, I'm reviewing my welcome file list. Currently, I'm not using anything. Just I'm giving these things. Okay, my web.xml file. Control V. What is my class name? My HTTP servlet. So this is HTTP. Okay. So now again, I'm creating my class package com.servlet.impl. Enter. What is the class name here? My HTTP servlet. Right click, new class, my class, finish. So now I'm extending. So this is class, right? The super class should be HTTP servlet. Okay, now see, it's not asking anything. You are unable, it is not, there is no requirement to override unimplemented methods. Okay, nothing. Automatically you can write your own methods. What are the methods you have? Just simply I'm creating, public void do get method. I'm creating http servlet request request and HTTP servlet response response response. Okay, now see here servlet HTTP servlet request and response. Again, I'm copying these lines. I don't want in as of now. This is basic example, right? I'm giving same request. Now instead of response, let's say response dot get writer. Okay, it's asking throws exception. Maybe it's maybe a chance it will raise the exception. Instead of IO exception, I'm taking super class. No, it's wrong. Yeah, IO exception. That's all. Now I am running this application. Let's assume how it should be. Run on server, Tomcat, next, finish. What is the URL pattern? HTTP. Go to Chrome instead of HTTP. Enter. Oh, this is wrong actually. Oh, it's yeah, HTTP servlet app and HTTP. Enter. So I didn't change my rest content also. Let's go to again. This is my HTTP servlet. So it's automatically loaded. Again, go to here, copy this URL, close this window. Again, go to here, copy and hit the URL. See my HTTP servlet. So what is the difference this HTTP servlet and generic servlet? Generic servlet is super class of HTTP servlet. So in the HTTP servlet you can write your own method. I mean do get or do post methods. Okay, in the if you are taking do get means when you will take a do get and do post. Do get method when you get request, right? Get request containing only URL based. So post request containing body also, right? Tomorrow I will explain the corresponding main web application creation, like how it should be post method, get method, everything I will show you in the next class. So this is basic how to create the dynamic web applications and all. Okay, now tomorrow onwards I will explain real-time example like login application, registration application, and after that again I will explain context application example. Next uh, let's say next one some login, how to by using HTTP servlet I can perform login app and registration. Okay, after that I will explain request dispatcher, sessions, URL writing, everything I will explain. Okay, so that is for today. You have any questions, guys? You are able to understand so how it should be? You are able to understand right?
Yes, sir.
You guys have any difficulty understanding these?
No, sir.
Okay. So that's all for today. Okay, tomorrow I will continue with these examples and I will explain theory concepts also. Okay. Tomorrow morning I will explain. I will mention these examples in my Git repository. Okay. So no one will joining guys. That's what I'm unable to explain my Git repository. Again, I need to from starting I need to explain that. That's what I'm putting on hold this Git tool. So I'm expecting tomorrow also. I mean everyone is must and should attend. Then I will start the tools as well parallelly.
Tomorrow what time, sir? Class.
So tomorrow a holiday, right? Shall we connect weekdays? I will take at least 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Is it fine?
Yeah,
So
okay.
yeah, tomorrow shall we start 9:30?
Evening or morning?
Morning, morning. You guys have any plans?
My side, no plans.
Other people's, Aishwarya or Shushmita, you guys have any plans? Okay, sharply tomorrow 9:30 you can start. You can join the class. Okay.
Okay.
Mostly, I will try to complete. I will complete servlets. I didn't complete, but mostly main topics I will cover tomorrow. And Sunday we will close the servlets. Okay. From Monday onwards, we will start the JSPs. But tomorrow, at any cost, anyone is not joining, I will give the explain the JIT tool, and tomorrow I will show you how to check out the code and how to you can go take the examples. You can practice it your own, but don't as per my suggestion. Once you can check out these examples, right? Don't blindly run the application and yeah, I completed my practice. Don't think like that. You can take the reference from these examples, how you can write these examples. After that, on top of these examples, you can create your own. For example, here, let's say login app, right? Here, let's assume here what exam login servlet, right? So login servlet, I am taking some username and password, right? So instead of that one, you can change your name. Like you can take three two fields like username and password. You can take mobile number also. You can implement extra fields, and you can do the examples, right? You can understand the concepts. Don't run these examples and you can my practice is done. Don't think time. You can create your own examples, but referring these examples. Okay. Tomorrow I will in front of you guys, I will upload all the examples in my JIT repository. I will explain how to check out this project. Okay. That's all for today. Good night, guys.
Good night.